my channel. My name is Felicia. I am a human and civil rights advocate, and I run a nonprofit in women's health called Divas Can Manifest that sponsors this free tarot channel, makes this information accessible to all. So if you like this video, subscribe to our channel, check out the description box down below to see how you can give back to us. Our community shop is down there. People love buying perfumes, and I greatly appreciate it if you support it. But without further ado, today we're getting into a realization pick card. So what are people realizing about you? We most recently did one of these, I think maybe a week ago or something, but I was called to do another. And happy Thanksgiving, you guys. I love you so much. Check out the collective readings that we just recently had. And first pile is the horse, the second pile is the cheetah, and the third pile is the football. Thank you. I love you. Now see you in your selection. Hi, pile one. Welcome to your selection. So you chose the horse, and your archetype significator that I pre-selected is the mentor, and this one has come out in the shadow aspect. Okay. So I don't know if this is for you or if this is somebody, they're realizing something about somebody in your life. This could be men. I'm hearing that these could be men that are realizing things about you, and they maybe have like some of them have, this could be men that you work with. These could be men that are like mentors to you. They're like father figures to you. They're older, mature men. And these are people, I'm hearing that this is somebody who wanted you to take an L, okay? I'm hearing this is a man that wanted you to take an L, okay? And, so, you know, whoever this person is, I'm getting that they're very triggered by you, okay? They realize, I feel like you know, we're going to get more cards, but I feel like just intuitively, this person is realizing something that like, they tried to stop you or inhibit you. I'm hearing that they wanted you to, they didn't want you to move. They didn't want you to master your role. Or this person has imparted a false instruction to mislead you, so that you could not reach your intended target, okay? What are people realizing about you, okay? They could be realizing that despite them giving false instructions, that didn't stop you from reaching your target, is what I'm hearing, okay? So, a romantic love. Okay. So, people are realizing that you have this romantic love. I'm hearing someone knows that you are the one for them, and they see that this shadow aspect of your lover is getting reflected back to you, okay? People are realizing a shadow aspect of your lover. You and your lover are reflecting a lot after healing something with them. Y'all, this is actually hilarious because they know that this person, I'm hearing that they keep calling this person the one, okay? I'm hearing people keep calling this person the one. And they're saying that this person did not want you to work. They did not want you to master your role. So they were doing everything possible to stop you from working, y'all. Somebody did not want you to have an occupation. They wanted you to take on a traditional role. these people, I'm hearing, these could be men, I'm hearing they were ridiculous, friend. They were ridiculous. They were so in love. I'm hearing that this is a man that's literally in love with you, trying to go to war with you about having an occupation, okay, about working. They don't want you to work. They don't want you to, they having control issues. Honestly, I think that this is what it is. I think this person is really controlling because they want to, like, hold you in a fixed place. I think that this is really their fear of losing you, because they don't want you to master yourself, and because they see that if you were to master yourself, then you probably would move on from them. And that's totally false. This person, you know, this person is realizing that you've been deep and tenacious. That y'all, I'm getting that people are saying that you had to seek guidance, you know, about your romantic lover, or you guys went to counseling and therapy together to block this shadow aspect, okay, to bring light to a shadow aspect. This is actually hilarious because this was just their fear of losing you. And I think that this fighting actually could have led to them losing you, okay? All eyes are on you. Oh my gosh, Pal 1, you're like an it person, and you're totally that person. And you know, people are watching you because they see that you in your romantic love have been a conscious reflection, and everyone's watching this beautiful love. Like, I think people are just looking up aside. I kept hearing this all weekend. They looking upside his head, like, y'all, they looking upside y'all head because they trying to figure out why y'all love each other so much. Like, okay, so they said that you did something to you know, exact your autonomy in a situation from this person who was refining your character. They said that this romantic love has refined your character, but their shadow aspect is that they haven't been wanting you to master this role, and that they be getting defensive and aggressive every time they see you making progress without them. Y'all, I'm just literally, this person is hilarious because they literally know that you're the one, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing they keep getting, they might give you a lot of gifts, they might give you a lot of flowers, but they really, they're doing a lot of other things, friend, to stop you from to stop you from mastering. You know, they don't want you to get to this. They don't want you to finish a project or something like that because they feel like you would not need them anymore. Is what I'm hearing, friends. Okay, so I'm getting that this is somebody that you have a mutual dream with, and you and this person have been in a karmic loop. This person, they keep, they know that they need to give. It's like something with, they're doing something to stop you from becoming the master. They keep going round and round and round, and this karmic behavior, which means that you guys are like taking losses and accomplishing this mutual dream. Like, this is of course a very strong bond between two people, but this is also like oh, this person, I'm getting that they're too patriarchal, okay? And it's because you're pretty, friends. They don't want you to master yourself and then be pretty on top of the master. Like, no, they can't. You know, fifth house, yeah, a romantic partner. They see that you have a lot of emotional satisfaction with this person, and you guys play a lot of different games together and have a lot of different hobbies together. And what did I say? If you continue to make the same choices, you'll continue to get the same outcome. Yeah, this karmic loop that you guys are in, where this person is not allowing you to master because you're pretty, okay? And this is just like, why can't Pal 1 have a career? Why can't Pal 1 be a master at this, okay? What is your problem? Like, something where they really just, they don't want to see you looking so, they know that's going to make you it's gonna make you desired by a lot of people. But I feel like, I think that, yeah, marriage, you and this person getting married, friends, but they have literally, y'all. So some of you guys, okay, people could be realizing that, so a lot of you now, they see that you are getting ready for marriage, and they see, so I'm kind of tapping into it a little bit more, is that these people could see you getting ready for marriage, and they know that this is you refining your character so much. And a lot of these people, they really want to be married. They really want to have the kind of relationship that you have, okay? And so they feel like it's something that, like, they feel like you're not teaching your students how to have, they feel like you're not teaching your students. Okay, this could be, for some of you guys, it's the first half of this message where your romantic partner has an authority position in your life. You guys have a mutual dream together. It's a very strong bond between two people that really cannot be broken. And it's headed for marriage. That's what I'm getting. People are realizing this, right? They're realizing this. But especially a lot of men who have been watching you, and they have found a lot of pleasure in you, and they have watched your creative acts. They see that you're getting ready for marriage. People are realizing that you're getting married, or you're married, okay? They're realizing a romantic partner, a conscious reflection. For others, people are realizing that your partner does not want you to become a master because you're so pretty, and they just know that that'll make you more desirable, more marketable, or something like that. They know that this will make you whole, and they feel like you would not want them anymore, or that you would leave them. But I'm also getting this second half, is that there is a group of people that you teach, and a lot of people have seen that people are realizing that whatever you're doing, all eyes might be on you, but the matter has lost its abundance, okay? They see that you're not as invested as you used to be. They see that it's not worth anything to you anymore. You have no value in it anymore, because I'm hearing so many karmic loopings with the same issues about your beauty, okay? And so they feel like now you are prioritizing your financial gain. You are not imparting the spiritual insights, because so many people will, like, reject you for being pretty, or tries to stop you from having emotional satisfaction because you're pretty, okay? People are realizing this about you, and it's probably something that you're realizing as well. And if this doesn't resonate, hopefully you still have abundance. But people are saying that, these could be, you still have abundance, but there are certain relationships that have lost abundance. And these people, they have been really doing a lot, being so extra around your beauty and your marriage, your beauty, looks, and style, your marriage, and your creative acts. And I think that they have just, because of how extra they have been and how just like draining this situation has been, they see that you don't care about anybody except for your romantic love or your marriage. Some of them, they feel like you don't, you're too damaged to feel, the relationships are too damaged now, and that there is no way to recover what was lost, okay? So, I'm hearing a situation where the love was lost because, you know, people were making the same choices to hurt you because you were pretty. And it's like you were not extending kindness, grace. You could not have emotional satisfaction. You know, any little thing that brings you emotional satisfaction made them upset. And it was just not an abundant situation for you anymore. And I'm also getting that these could be, people are realizing some relationships that I'm hearing a relationship with a copycat. I'm hearing that this could be a copycat where this person, like I said, they did so much around your marriage and your beauty, looks, and style, copying you. It just, you know, it led to so much mistrust and so much disagreement and tension. And it just was not, you know, it just, their behavioral health problems, like, got them the opposite of what they wanted. Like, you know, this person, you know, they just were not able to have a harmonious relationship with you because of your beauty. It's like they're so superficial, they can't have emotional satisfaction and harmony in relationships because of how pretty you are, okay? So people are realizing this, friend, and this is hard because it's just like, oh my gosh, pretty people can't actually be happy because of you. And I also feel like people are realizing, you know, about this copycat, that they have just been, you know, wishing things could go back to the way they used to be. And, you know, before they started trying to diss and trying to copy, and before they let the situation get out of hand, before it became a lawsuit, before it became copyright infringement. Like, it's like, you know, before it got out of, like, they wish they can go back to that place before, you know, they got out of hand. And, you know, I'm also getting that this person is, you know, they keep doing the same thing over and over again. I'm hearing that this person is a real life loser. Some of these people, they do the same, they might do something similar to you in a marketplace, or they might be a mentor to other people. And people are realizing that they have not actually been mastering, though they have actually not been a master at this creative act, okay? And people are saying that they don't really find pleasure in it the way that you do. And they're also saying that this person imparts a lot of false instructions. They're like con artists in the marketplace, especially if they're trying to teach creative acts, okay? So what are people realizing about you, Caroline? The 7th house, yeah, your partner. Yeah, they see that you and your partner are, you know, they're realizing the attraction between you and your partner. They're realizing the chemistry between you and your partner. They're realizing why you guys, you know, your emotional satisfaction that you guys have, the creative acts that you put on for one another. They're realizing your shared values, how much fun you have with one another. I'm hearing that y'all having so much fun with one another as well, okay? But you notice the shadow aspect within them, you know, where they have not been wanting you to master, so that, you know, so they can have control over you, okay? But some of you guys, they can't control you anymore, and you mastered, and now people are saying that it's your choice. You know, you're trying to decide if you're going to marry them now, right? And they see that after, you know, being in separation from them, you know, where they let their control issues got out of hand, that, you know, you still got all of the attention that they were trying to stop you from having. Y'all, this person did not want people to see how pretty you were. They just wanted to lock you away like you were a princess in a tower, friend. I think it's kind of sweet. You're like, I kind of like that energy, vampire. Like, my romantic love is a crazy lunatic, but we love it here. Wouldn't have it any other way, friend. Okay, and they said that you were hurt a lot. Like they realized that you were hurt a lot by this person's doing this, but they see that you finally have brought this into balance and have been helping this person be more trusting and feel you showing them that you're more committed and devoted. Helps them, I don't know. This person, y'all, this person, pound one, people are saying like that this romantic partner got you in a headlock. Like, you see how in the image that they just got their arm around. This person is terribly controlling, okay, terribly. But they see that you're getting a lot more balance, okay, around this. And, you know, some of you guys, you need to stop acting out in this marriage. You know that this person is going to have these controlling behaviors. So just let them do whatever they want to do, friend. They're not going anywhere. Your love is so eternal. Just stop with the trust issues about occupation. Like, oh my God. Y'all, this is driving me insane. Okay, so let's wrap, friends. What are people realizing about you? The Ace of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and then Strength in the reverse. Okay, yeah, they see that this person has truly, you know, they're very invested in you. They see that this person is your king. They, like I said, they might buy you a lot of gifts and shower you with attention and love, and you know, they surprise you with a lot of gifts and creative projects and acts, and you know, they strategic about this, friend, and it's the way of them trying to strategize around some emotional weakness and insecurity that they have. That's a shadow attachment. Okay, I'm hearing that they have shadow attachments, where they have not been wanting you to move on to the role of the master. They don't want you to become. They don't want. They said that they didn't want you to become an economic power, but you did it anyway. It's because this person saw you as a child and they're super protective. Like, this person is really overprotective, and they are like, everybody's realizing how overprotective this romantic partner is, and they say this is why they're married to you, is because they're so overprotective, and they see you as a young and a child, and they see you as having, you know, getting ready to have their child, or you have their child already, and they feel like this person is just so overprotective and controlling, and have been doing a lot of things to stop you from, I don't know, mastering yourself, because they don't want you to, like, I don't know, venture out on your own. And you know, they have like these shadow attachments as well as I'm hearing that this person has a one-on-one relationship with a copycat, okay, or a karmic part, or they have a one-on-one relationship with a copycat, or someone who has been, they've been a witness, they were a witness to this person, but I'm getting that this is a karmic loop with this copycat, or some type of other third-party influence that has been stopping your marriage, is what I'm hearing. And people are realizing that it's because the reason why this person is you know, they have not started a new spiritual beginning with you, is because they're still showing this emotional weakness and insecurity around ending from the past. Okay, it's like this person is getting ready for, I'm hearing, it's like this person is getting ready for marriage. Yet what? Seven of Swords reversed. It's got their strategies of pain and shame. It's like they were doing something to strategize to hide their pain and shame. Okay, imparting false instructions, not wanting you to move on to the master, trying to stop you from having a career, and it's because they really just want you to be married to them. They want you to just be emotional satisfaction. They don't want you to have a career, is what I'm hearing. And you're just like, okay, if you were not this pretty, they probably wouldn't have a problem with you having a career, right? So a lot of them have been strategizing this, right? Karmic loop is what I'm hearing. I'm sorry, does that make sense? I feel like there's something going on. It's like you you got a big victory. I'm hearing that you've already gotten a victory. So the karmic loop is not a person that is intercepting the marriage, okay? This is, they know that you're the one for them. They know that you have this emotional satisfaction and creative act together, but they have been worried about you mastering yourself and choosing to go in a different direction. They're worried that, you know, after fulfilling your, like, they feel like, oh, you guys had this mutual dream of you mastering yourself, and they see that, like, once you master yourself, you would not want or need them anymore. But I think that that is not, I think that is not what you were even thinking about. Like, I think that you have always been wanting to marry this person, that you had no plans on leaving them. And marriage might help you guys feel more secure, okay? But I ultimately do think that, you know, this person is, because they have been showing some type of emotional weakness and insecurity, you guys are, even if you might already be married to this person, and so some of you guys, because they have been showing this emotional weakness and insecurity around copycat to impart false instructions, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that this is around copycats that impart false instructions, and they do not want you know, their students to move on to the level of their master because they want to line their pockets more. So, you know, they see that a lot of these people that, you know, they were in a karmic looping with these copycats that were imparting false instructions, and they feel like they missed their opportunity. Some of them could feel like they missed their opportunity for marriage, or that while they were strategizing in this marketplace, you were losing passion and intimacy with them, okay? Some of them are saying that these people in the marketplace who have been, they're realizing them as people who have not mastered the role, or people who have been who have been imparting false instructions. For a lot of you, though, this is, your marriage is intact and your emotional satisfaction is intact, but I think that these you're still in this, like, you got the victory of disillusioning them. That helped this person, like, understand who they were supposed to marry. This could have been confusing, friends, because so many of these people who like people who pretended to have fellowship and teachings, they were mimicking you a lot and copying you a lot, and so they may have thought that this was success, or they may have thought that these were attractions, real investments, when it's, you know, it was really them displaying a lot of emotional insecurity and not having, like, not being able to defend their ego from these people imparting false, like, people imparting false instructions and spreading falsehoods, okay? And I think that, like, after these people's strategies of deceptions were revealed, the relationships ended in, you know, they felt very insecure about the ending of the relationship because you're so pretty, and they were the ones that got disillusioned. It was like they were trying to, like, they tried not to make it about beauty, but they know that all of these people, like, they created such a hardship because of your beauty. They made it about how you looked, when it was really about them not being good teachers, right? And when they did all this copycatting and strategizing, it just made everybody, like, it just, you know, this, like, it was a hardship and division that has been putting a strain on your relationship and your shared network, okay? Clarifying the Ace of Wands. Okay. What are people realizing about you, Power One? Yeah, the Fool, okay, in the reverse. So yeah, they see that these people, the people who are realizing, they're realizing that you are the person that they are, that, this, that has this emotional satisfaction, this creative act in his marriage with this person. And it was also something that was protecting your identity, individuality. It was something that was refining your character. And so a lot of people did not know that you had this king. They did not know you had this marriage coming up. They did not know that this person was strategizing for you. Okay, this King of Pentacles was strategizing for you. But it also put a strain on your relationship. Okay. So when people realize that, this king is a consort for, to ensure the land's prosperity and to provide property, they realize that your individuality and unique qualities were being protected by this masculine. And they took so many risks, that were naive, where they didn't know that you were building this empire dynasty, and, marriage, and had this, they didn't know you had this mutual dream with someone. So these copycats, they just saw your beauty and became unhinged. But then when they realized, like, you revealed your mutual dream and showed them true emotional satisfaction, it made these other people look so false, so superficial, and how they have not been wanting people to master themselves because they want to remain in power, or they wanted to disempower you. Okay, so it's taken a lot of sacrifice with this person, and you guys have come into balance a lot about these copycats and this karmic loop, with them as well. How they've been strategizing in this marketplace, but they also have a shadow attachment. As the King of Pentacles, of placing their financial gains first as well, and also wanting to control you in your marriage because they're so emotionally insecure about your pretty. Okay, so what are people realizing about you? Let's wrap, friends. Okay, yeah. They see that this person, that you guys are still, this person is coming to, they make you a lot of offers, they send you a lot of creativity, and they see that this person is putting you in economic power, and they're driven and determined to succeed in this marriage, is what I'm hearing. They see that this person is determined to succeed in the marriage, and that all these other copycats that they have one-on-one relationships with, because some of these people are a boss in this network, or they have an authority position, they are leadership positions, and they have one-on-one relationships with these people, or this was the market before you became the master. And so, a lot of them knew that you were the one for them, but they were displaying a lot of emotional weakness, due to shadow attachments, and they're strategizing with these karmics. So this was the delay, and this was the third parties that may have not even been romantic third parties, but people who have been trying to stop you from mastering. This was all a resistance to stop you from mastering because you're pretty. Okay. But I feel like now that this person is viewing you with justice and compassion, they're still very invested in you. They're still the King of Pentacles, and they definitely still want to marry you. But some of them, they're still in a cycle of mastering themselves and discerning, the burden of these copycats. Okay, I'm hearing the copycats are burdening. They want us to people please them. They are living in the past about, wishing they can go back in time, wishing that they didn't become unhinged now that they see that you're getting married, and see that your creative act is protected, and that there was nothing that they can do to stop you. It's the people, all these risks that they were taking, you know, it was like it was useless because you were formidable with this king. You know, people are saying that you're realizing that all of these copycats and all of this behavior to stop you from mastering and to stop you from having emotional satisfaction was all a waste of time and in vain, because you had this king acting as a consort to provide you prosperity and property, and that they are indeed doing that. Okay. But I know that you guys may be struggling with feeling insecure about endings in the relationships where people were strategizing in a marketplace to, you know, we know that they were imparting false instructions, and you know, and that there is some sensationalism and financial gain in doing that. But what it really came down to is that a lot of these people just hated you for being pretty, and so it makes them feel weak and insecure when they know that the financial gains, you know, the people who were getting financial gains in the shadow aspects, are going to have a problem with your pretty. And it's, you know, it just creates a lot of tension and conflict and safety issues as well, friends. Okay. That's what I have right now, you guys. Let's see where this takes us through our winter intensive. I love you. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Hi, Pal 2. Welcome to your selection. So you chose the cheetah, and your archetype is the child, eternal child, and determination to remain young in body, mood, mind, and spirit. Ability to see things with fresh eyes. So people could be realizing a birthday that you just had, or they're realizing that you are just very youthful. You have a youthful glow, and people, when they realize your age, they're shocked. So this could be somebody who has a problem with the age difference as well. This could be a lover who's older than you. I'm getting to this person. This person literally might not be that much older than you. But this could be a 40s versus 30s thing. LOL. But for others, it could be, you know, it could be just some type of age difference, or just like, if you are of a mature age, they see that you never stop playing, and that you should not like expect, like, I've been reading a lot about this actually, is like with ageism, is that like people have an idea of what you are supposed to act like at a certain age, and you're just like, no, like, like some of the people could be asking you, oh, when are you going to be having kids, or when you going to settle down, or you can't wear that, that's for young people, or you can't play, that's for young people. But they see that you are determined to remain useful in your body, mind, and spirit. Like, they see that you are you work out a lot, okay, and you're staying active so that you can remain youthful in your body. People are also realizing that you like butterflies, or that you like some type of way that you like to wear your hair, and they just are they're realizing a lot of things that nurture your inner child. So let's get into it. What are people realizing about you, pal 2? Throat chakra. They're realizing something that you could be communicating. They're realizing some playful energy, some playful communication, cracking jokes, playing games. I'm hearing some of you guys are hosting something. Some of you guys are hosting a podcast, or hosting, relaying some important communication. What are people realizing about you, pal? Pal 1, pal 2. They see that you are divinely protected and on the psychic advantage of a copycat. Okay. What are people realizing about you, pal, too? Oh my god, I talked about this so much in Power 1. Beauty, looks, and style. Oh my god. And your throat chakra. And then we have Taurus. Yeah, so I kind of was going back to that, especially like if you guys are mature ages. Some of them, because of your beauty, looks, and style, people cannot tell what age you are, or they think that you're very young. You're full of life, and your beauty, looks, and style reflect that. So you stop looking at people and be like, oh my god, I wonder how old they are. Instead, just look at them and see how happy they are, see how successful they are, see how stylish they are. You know what I mean? How about that? Stop focusing, like, it's literally people that do that. I've like never done that, but I've literally heard, and I realized that people did this. I was so grossed out. Like imagine just sitting somewhere random and somebody just like, you see a stranger that looks young and nice and beautiful and stylish, right? You see somebody who's very pleasing to the senses, like, you know, everything is organized and put together, your material goods, like they see that you're grounded and structured and that they can't move you and that they can't like upset your stability. Like these could be strangers, and I'll literally see a stranger, like I remember like seeing a stranger just like they look like they 45 years old. Like why do you need to place an age on somebody, a stranger that you do not even know? It's kind of like people will try to start sizing you up a lot. It's like these could be like strangers, friends that I feel are realizing things about you. It's like they're looking at your material stuff. It's like you can see their eyes tracing over your material goods, and they're trying to, it's like they find it to be very pleasing, right? They see that they can tell that you are rewarded by your beauty, looks, and style. So this is scary to be going out when there's like a zombie apocalypse going on outside, and you see somebody looking over your material goods and they realize like, oh, that material good and that pleasing person, that person who has physical pleasures, security, wealth, and possessions. Ooh, like when they realize like, oh my god, it dawns on them that person is rewarded, right? That person is honored. That person rewards and honors themselves first and foremost, right? So it's like they like watch your tendencies a lot, and they want to know, like you'll catch people running, strangers running to see you, okay? They will break their neck to, like, it's like you're turning heads. People are breaking their necks to see you, and it's because they're so like floored and flabbergasted by your physical pleasures, your material goods, your security, wealth, and possessions. They see that you have a generous amount of food, beauty, and art. These could be strangers that are seeing you indulge. Like, you know, this is so scary, you guys. Like, you could be out in the public having a meal, having a nice meal, or having a drink, having a refresher, your fragrance as well. They can tell, like, and then just like whatever you're possessing, how you're styling yourself, you know, is what you're possessing as well. And they just see that you move sensually, or that you're not like, they're really focused on like your touch and how you touch things. So they might look at your hands a lot. They look at your hands and your feet a lot to try to assess your class and stability, by like trying to mimic your hand movements and gestures, trying to mimic your feet movement and gestures. Or they could be just watching those a lot. Like you might catch people staring at your shoulder blade, and catch people staring at things that you would not think that it should be drawing attention, but they see it to be beautiful. Like they see your feet and hands to be really beautiful, and then whatever sense of style you have, it shows that you have the privilege of expression, the privilege of style, that your home is rewarded and has nice things in it. And so that's so scary, right? Like when these people realize that you're rewarded, we don't know what they're going to do with that dangerous realization. Okay? It's like they still watch your hands and the way that you touch a lot. Like they want to see how you place your hands upon things, like how you touch things. Because like a big gorilla beast named Helen most definitely is not touching the same way. Okay. So, yeah, we have momentum. What are people realizing about you? Yeah, they're very triggered by your sensual touch, your soft touch, your soft life, your aesthetic, how pleasing your smell is, and they're just, you know, they want to watch your tendencies. They just want to watch how you exist because you're just so foreign and exotic looking. Like, oh, I've never seen like that kind of beauty look and style before, and oh my god, like they're just like looking at all your possessions and the things that you own and trying to size you up. Like, and this is how people you know, this is how people will try to, you know, this is how they determine how to treat you. And this is so superficial in society. Like, I remember, like just a little side story. I remember being in New York City during the pandemic, and remembering, like, I love New York City, don't get me wrong, but New York City is not a hospitable place whatsoever. If you are low income, you can't go and hang around these establishments. And you will even see a lot of, like, any kind of establishment really rejecting and denying lower social class people, right? So this could be, you know, this is hard, friends. So, you know, bear with me. I remember being in New York City during the pandemic and it being just such a difficult time because I was like, this was when I was not having any beauty looks and style. I did not have any money and really know where to go. And, you know, a lot of being homeless in New York City is probably the best place to be homeless, but still, like, it will make you feel like a big loser, okay? Not having material goods, not having physical structures and pleasures and things like that, that is how people will treat you. Especially like in New York City, you will, and during the pandemica, you better come in there and buy what you need and leave. You're not coming in there to buy anything. You can't sit here. We don't care how cold it is. There are no public restrooms. No, there are no outlets to charge your phone. There are no physical pleasures for the poor. So when people see you, they see that your home is rewarded, that you're not poor, that you have beauty, the privilege, and can afford beauty looks and style. Some of you guys, this is happening during some type of tourism, okay? With this taxi, maybe people are watching you in a taxi, or they're watching you travel to a foreign land, a different country, a place that you've never been before. So some of you guys, especially if you're traveling to third world countries or countries that don't have as much as your country, we have water element, then of course these people are definitely going to be like, you know, they're going to be staring at you a lot and staring at your physical structures a lot and staring at your material goods a lot because they're just, you know, they don't have that, and you just look so rich and touristy coming in trying to snap a photo or something like that. Some people are realizing that there's somebody in your environment that have a drug addiction. There's someone is realizing that you have a drug addiction, or someone else important to you has a drug addiction. They've realized that somebody got the axe for having a drug addiction. because they kept getting violent and aggressive. They couldn't control themselves because when they were high on some type of drug, they got out of control. A Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Yeah, a 4 out of 10 is realizing. LOL. Some of you people are the people who are realizing this about things about you are drug addicts. So the number one cause of homelessness in the United States is drug addiction. So if you guys are out in the public, you might be getting a lot of strangers watching you. They watch how you communicate with the throat chakra. They watch your physical security. They watch your beauty, looks, and style, and material goods. And it's a stark difference because they know that you're not this addict like them. They know that you are not getting left behind in life like them. So some of these drug addicts might start acting crazy because they literally see you as so secured, and this is triggering and makes them defensive, and they are disconnected from reality and have an unconscious gripping to your beauty, looks, and style. And they're, especially if some of them, if they're on a drug, some of them, they see you moving sensually and they lose their mind. Okay, and this might make you very scared. I'm hearing that especially if you're around strangers or people that clearly have been just strung out on drugs on the street or something like that. I know you guys might be scared. Okay, because they will see your physical securities and material goods. And especially if these are people from your marginalized identity, community, cultural group, they will most definitely have an instinctual response and get triggered, right? Because they're so scarce. Drug addicts, they're literally the opposite of physical security. This is someone who doesn't have an integrity over and they literally don't have an authority over their inner spirit. They don't have an inner security. So they see your beauty, looks, and style, and they know that you have an inner security that radiates this physical beauty on the outside, if that makes sense, okay? What are people realizing about you, pal, too? Okay? What are people realizing about you? That's so unfortunate. These drug addicts, I'm hearing they're big drug addicts, okay? And they really crave sensual touch, right? I'm getting the drug addicts, they really crave sensual touch. And these could be a lot of men who aren't getting sensual touching. So when they see your beauty, looks, and style, and they see how you smell so good and how you are so grounded, right? They might try to do something to move you, or they try to force themselves onto you, right? And you just show them something about you, that you communicate something to them that shows them that you're immovable and that you're very aware that they're an addict that just has this unconscious gripping to your beauty, looks, and style. This realization pisses people off, okay? It makes them aggressive when they see your material goods. You could just catch a drug addict looking at your shoes, looking at the way you move your feet, the way you'd be like, oh my God, like this person was so unfortunate in their life. Like this person is so unfortunate in their life that they're sitting here looking at somebody, getting attached to how someone moves their hands, getting attached to somebody's home on the internet. Like, imagine being an addict. Like, this doesn't even have to be just drugs. This could just be someone who has an addictive behavioral pattern that literally is so self-sabotaging, right? And you it's like they might get tethered to your beauty, looks, and style and your physical possessions, and when you start to communicate something, it's like an immediate conflict that helps break them from an unconscious gripping and helps reveal to them that they're a lower standard in quality, that they're just an addict that we don't really value, okay, that has no value to society, has no authority over their inner spirit, and has no manifestation in co-creational ability because of it. And so they might just watch your tendencies a lot. They just sit there and watch you because they literally have nothing else to do. Maybe they learn from watching you. They learn from watching your tendency. Like watching Beyonce do her hair is so funny and so cute for 300 million people who are brainwashed, right? Who are just tethered to Beyonce's material goods. Yeah, I'm about to get out of here. about to head out. I'm about to head out. Yes, friend, Gemini energy is something that you communicate that shows them that you're this balanced person that, like, I don't know where you will be finding these people, but it's like they see that that you're so multifaceted, and they just know that you are rewarded for being multifaceted, where they were just people who could not create anything. Like, they were not curious enough to move and travel, and they were not strong enough to give physical security, and they're very curious about you. I think some of these strangers, they realize that you're rewarded. They realize that you're not this drug addict bum, you know, like they are, right? They realize that you have a spirit, right? That you're not just a body that's, moving, right? I don't know, something where these people get so attached to the way that your body moves. Someone's name is Aaliyah. Like, the way it's like this person could have plastic surgery and they might not know how to move. Like, people, that's not your body. You know what I'm saying? So that's not how your movement is, right? So a lot of these people, some of these people, they might have plastic surgery, or they might be just bums that are clear bums, or obese people, right? But they see that you are just like this immovable, grounded person that has this beauty and like, I don't know, like, they could just tell, like, it's just like you're such a multifaceted, secured person, right? That, like, your life is secure. And these are just drug addicts who don't have a life. They don't have rewards from coming from their house. Some of them don't have a house. So, they don't have a position in society because they're a drug addict. Right? There's nothing to reward because there's nothing there. That's just a drug addict, okay? That's a hollow vessel. But for some of these people, these could be people who look like their house is really rewarded, or they look like they have an establishment. Some of them, they got, this is a superficial establishment, or these are superficial values, or especially like if they're concerned with your movement or beauty. If you are a natural, you're really not safe around plastics that have the whole point of plastic surgery. It could be to deal with a body image issue, body dysmorphia issues. It could be to simply make someone happy and feel better about themselves. But that's not how you look, okay? And that doesn't change your genetic predispositions. A lot of these people go and get plastic surgery so they can go get a sugar daddy, so they can go get a job at the club, or so they can become hypergamous, right? So that they can have a rewarded house and have commercials, right? So that they can face less scrutiny from, the stress and the expectations of commercial standards. They go and do this because they want to look really desire, like, oh my god, this big booty. Why do people want to go get a big booty, friend? Why do people want a big booty? Why do you want a big booty? Why do you want big glutes? Because they look good? Yeah, they do look good. For you, for me, part of me. But that's also related to, it arises a lot of desire for sex, and is related to sensual touching. How do you attract a high value partner? By looking good, right? Having, that type of thing. So some of them, they went and got plastic surgery and they still don't have sensual touch. They still can't move, or we don't want to see it move because it's so big and redonkulous and ridiculous. And they see that your beauty, looks, and style is so timeless. And they just did something. Even if you did go get plastic surgery, you can have a natural plastic surgery and you did it in a tasteful way, and people get pissed off about this as well, because some people, they become desperate for this rewards, and they do it in a way that makes them look so cheap, and it ends up getting botched, and it just, like, people just don't know how to do it. Okay, so that's what I'm saying about what people are realizing about you, friend. People are realizing a big difference between you and the plastics. And even if you do have plastics, you could be looking natural. Okay, they be like, okay, we like that. Okay, we know you. We see you making it look sensual. You're making it look natural, right? We don't want no plastic surgery that look crazy. You know, like we don't want to see that. That's scary. Like I'll literally scream and run in the other direction if I see some of these caricatures of black women that I be seeing on Instagram in real life. If I saw you in real life, I would scream and throw up. That is not happy, y'all. Imagine seeing that walking down the street on the everyday basis. People will literally flip the table like, no, that's not normal. We want something that looks sensual and natural, good look, you know, something that's pleasing, something that looks like it occurs in nature, not a genetically modified organism, right? You know, that looks overgrown in the lab. You know what I mean? Like, so, FYI, friends, for example. But I also feel like, you know, people could be realizing that this just it is pleasing. Whatever you're doing is pleasing. So, you know, these could be plastics that are not pleasing, that could be realizing this about you, and they get very triggered by your balanced communication. It's like something where they get really attached to your tendencies, like the way you're moving, and you know, they try to assess your level of like sensuality, and they try to, like, you know, determine what your home is like. Like these are strangers. That could be either on your social media account, or these can be people in the public. These could be bums in the public, or these could be people, other people who look like their house is rewarded, but they really don't have sensual touch, or they're really triggered by the way you communicate, because it disillusions their home. Okay, it makes them look like not as great. Okay, but ultimately, friends, I think people, what they really realize is that, like, you know, you remain useful in your body, mind, and spirit, because, you know, and you're always willing to see things with fresh eyes, and it helps them realize that they have just been jaded. Like, especially a drug addict, like, you're so used to just doing the same dose. You don't have a real life. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Just sitting there on the bus stop, hungover all day long. Like, you have no spirit, no life. And it'd be clear that you're opposite of them, that you're not there under the same pretenses. So that's really scary, okay? And also plastics as well, right? They want to look like they're having intimacy and sensuality, but, you know, a lot of them don't know how to move, okay? They don't know how to move, and, you know, that's not how you look, and that's not how it really moves, and it'd be awkward every time it moves, and we scared every time it moves. Or some of these people could be on drugs, or, you know, we just know that they have an extreme dependency, you know, for physical security, and that you're just this person that doesn't have dependency on other people, so that makes you immovable. Okay. So let me see. I hope that all made sense, but so many different ways it can go. Okay, I'm working on trying to, you know, be faster, right? Talk faster. LOL. Okay. We have the Two of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, you make them very unstable and help them realize that they need to go heal. Sis need to go heal. Like they be very triggered by your communication. It's like, I don't know, when they have this realization of you, it'd be painful. It's a painful ending, right? And these could be strangers, people you don't even know, where your beauty, looks, and style reminds them of the greater fundamental reality that lies beyond this scarce and grim reality that they have been in under a drug, okay? Or just, if they're not beautiful, stylish, and looking good, you know, they just know that they're not pleasing and soothing, and it helps, it reminds them of their unhappy home, and they just start thinking about your man and thinking about your relationship at home or something like that. And I'm getting strangers, friend. It make them so unstable, okay? Make them very unstable. When they smell you and sense and see your tendencies, your rich girl tendencies, or your rich behavior, your material goods, they just realize that they need to heal, and that they were a waste in their life. With this indulgence, the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, they were just, you know, greedy, and had an extreme dependency on a drug, right? They know that you're wish fulfillment, friends. It's like they know, they be seeing you, they be like, that's the Nine of Cups right there. That person right there. A lot of the times they're watching you leave somewhere. They're watching you leave. They're watching you leave a like establishment, or it's like they see you walking and moving about a lot. Like they're watching you to handle business, or like they just, I don't know, running an errand. They see that you are, they just know that your life has emotional fulfillment. They know that you're emotionally satisfied with your life, and they're just a drug addict, right? That's unstable. They become so unstable by your beauty, looks, and style. They might even try to do something to make you feel unstable, and then you let them know. You communicate something balanced and multifaceted to let them know that you're immovable and you're very aware of these kinds of tendencies, in highlighting their intimidation. It's like a lot of you communicate something to highlight their intimidation, and that helps them know that you have been able to protect yourself from a negative force, right? That they're really a negative force, because they're just an addict, obsessed with your sensuality, your material goods, your beauty, looks, and style, and your emotional satisfaction, and they're just sitting in the grim reality, with nothing, right? Like, it just be so, this is weird. Like, this shit is so weird. Just put their ass in the gas chamber. We need to, like, get rid of these zombies and apocalyptic people just sitting around like, oh, that person, emotional satisfaction. Oh, like, what? Like, go away. Like, thank you so much, Pal 2. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hi, Pal 3. Welcome to your selection. So, you chose the football, and your archetype is the gambler, okay? So, some of you guys like football, and some of you guys, you might like football, or you might like to gamble. Some of you guys like to go to the casino. Some of you guys were born in January or December. But people are realizing that you're a star. This is someone that you dated in the past. This person realized that you were a star after you left. And I'm getting that they are infinitely connected to you in a shadow attachment of pain and shame for the rest of their life. Okay? And that's so sad. Okay? So, what are people realizing about you? How? 3. So some of you guys, you could be the star now. And I feel like you might be sharing old memories, you might be talking about, maybe you are going, especially if you were at a holiday dinner or holiday get together, maybe you're sharing, having a walk down memory lane, and people see that your musical playlist have manifested your current reality, or they see that you have been intuitive and have taken steps in the dark when you were not sure what it would amount to. People see that your journey to fame and rewards and recognition, and this crown that they see you with now, was all a gamble. And so some of you guys are mirroring this person. The person that's realizing this about you is somebody that is mirroring the shadow aspect of the gambler. This person, they might go to the casino a lot and they waste a lot of money, or they gamble a lot, they do a lot of scratch offs or something like that. Someone has a gambling addiction, or they have some kind of other addiction. And you reflect back to this person, especially if they're Capricorn, you reflect back to this person how they have been relying on luck rather than hard work. this could be someone who makes fast money. So this could be someone involved in the nightlife, or someone who has a criminal record. Maybe they have done prison time, or they have some type of criminal record, or something about them stops them from having a legitimate occupation. Maybe they are not credentialed. They don't have, like maybe they don't have any education. This person, they may have, they may money launder. This person has a felony. They may be they may be like drug dealers, prostitutes. They could be people who really have not had a legitimate way to make money. And so they see that you have gotten rewards recognition and have learned how to make money by following your intuition, even when you were filled with a lot of doubt, even when other people were doubting you. Okay, you make this person feel like a really, really big loser because they have been doing a lot to try to get money, is what I'm hearing. Somebody's name starts with the letter J or letter Q, D, T. This could be an Aries, or the name can start with the letter M, A. Okay, and this person has not been working hard whatsoever, okay, in their life, and they have just been doing so much to get money, and you reflect back to them intuition. You reflect back to them steps that you've taken to secure yourself more. I think, friends. And so they're really they really see that the difference, the mirror is that you might be very lucky, right, friends? But they know that it took work. It took some type of work to co-create this success that you have now. It took a lot of work. Like, you were intuitively guided to do something, and you did it, right? You don't talk shit, you do shit, right? And following your intuition is not just sitting around like, oh my God, I'm going to wait for the money to fall out the sky. Oh, I'm going to wait for a customer to come give it to me. Oh, I'm going to be an exotic dancer for 10 years. I'm going to keep relying on luck instead of co-creating and building a retirement plan. So this person, they're not a star. Some of them, they really could have gotten lucky with getting some type of rewards and recognition, but for a lot of you guys, they missed a financial opportunity when they were not working hard. It's like something where this person was lucky to go viral, or they were lucky to have been getting this rewards and recognition or something like that. But this person have not worked hard for anything. This person has been, and you can tell that it did not amount to anything. It's like, the thing about it is that, like, you have to have, like, opportunity have to, like, your planning and preparation have to meet the perfect opportunity. And so these people are never prepared. It's like they're never prepared, and so they always miss their opportunities. And they see that you have been guided to take intuitive steps, and your intuition made you prepared for an opportunity. People are realizing that your intuition made you prepared for an opportunity, and people were doubting you when you were following this intuition. And they see now that it has led you to rewards, recognition, fame, and the highest honor. And they're looking at this other person, where this person kind of tries to have the same story of empowerment, like, oh, I was taking steps in the dark too, or I was in a similarly situated circumstance, right? But what happened was that this person got lucky, and that's nice, right, to go viral or to have a financial opportunity or something like that. But what really happened is that this person kind of ran out of luck. Some of you, this person ran out of luck, or it became clear that they were not working hard for anything. It's only so far that like luck will take you. It's like sometimes this person is not. It's like something where they watched this person get lucky, but they did not. They were not prepared for the opportunity, and so they missed the opportunity, and I'm hearing they took an L, or they declined and decelerated and reversed in life, where they thought they were lucky to have had this opportunity, but because they lacked hard work and they lacked co-creation, they lacked, you know, a strong alignment and presence, so it never amounted to anything. Okay, y'all, this never amounted to anything. So what are people realizing about you, Pal 3? Okay, yeah, this really does feel like an earth sign, okay? People are realizing that you love the earth, that you have a deep connection to the physical plane, and this helps you with your intuition. They feel like you being so in touch with Mama Gaia helps you find your opportunities. It's like they always see you finding something beautiful about the earth, and they see that you are one with the earth, that you are one. You're connected to all that there is. Literally, like, I know this sounds so spiritual woo woo, but like people are literally realizing this, that this is not just a spiritual woo woo jumble babble chat, right? This is actually a, like, you are actually a skilled spiritualist. Okay, some of y'all are so skilled at manifesting. Like, your intuition, it's like they see that because you're connected to all that there is, you always answering the call about an opportunity. And they see that, they feel like you heard it through the wind, or you heard it from the trees, you heard it from the earth, and you found out the pathway to get to this reward and recognition. Y'all, I'm really about to y'all, they think that your manifestation is beautiful, okay? People are realizing that your intuition is, this is why you spend so much time in nature, so that you can levitate. And reach a higher plane of existence, and hop up into the fifth dimension and pull the information of the opportunity from the fifth dimension. Yeah, they see you. They're realizing your international recognition. Peter Pan, right? And they're just a Peter Pan, y'all. This person really does not want to, like, yeah, if you continue to make the same choices, you'll continue to get the same outcome. This person literally does not want to grow up and be responsible, okay? And they see that you are literally chasing that bag, and you're getting that bag, friend. They see that you was intuitively chasing that bag, and that you always out in nature trying to see, you're trying to see where the trees, the green is taking you. Where's the green? Where's the green coming from, friend? Where's the green coming from? LOL. And they just feel like, okay, so people are realizing that this might be somebody younger than you, but they're not that much younger than you, friends. It's like something where they're comparing themselves a lot to you when you were their age, and they see that by that age you were already internationally known, or something like that. You were already so successful, and they feel like they never sought God's will before making decision. They never connected to the physical plane. Some of them, you caught them littering, you caught them hurting the earth, and maybe you ain't say none. All right, you ain't probably say none, but some of them you saw them committing crimes against humanity, or you saw them, littering, throwing their trash on the ground, and it's like some of the people realize that you judged them for that. You judged them for littering. Okay, so a study came out. So, people are realizing, what you studied have gotten you internationally known. They feel like you intuitively study things as well, and that gets you internationally, like that makes you, that puts you on path to success. And you knew what to study, or you knew what to look for, and all of these were just intuitions. And people were doubting your study. They were doubting that you could have, that these spiritual aspects could be included in our nature, in our reality, that we can talk about it in a way that's pseudoscientific. And people could be realizing that you're just this spoiled student that won't grow up and be responsible. I'm also hearing that as well, friends. I'm also hearing that you've had the privilege of study, or you're still a child. You're still a child in school, or they just feel like you keep studying or you keep going to school because you have a Peter Pan syndrome and you refuse to grow up and be responsible. LOL. But with this, I'm getting that I'm getting that people were doubting you. They thought that this was a Peter Pan syndrome, but this was actually you working. People were realizing that this method was actually working for you. They thought that you were, going round and round, getting the same outcome. They thought that you were a Peter Pan. They thought that you were immature. They thought that the spiritual thing was just woo woo, and that it was a superstition. And then now they're seeing that something esoteric that you have studied has gotten you international recognition. Okay, T. That's the T. That's the T for it. Okay. We have Ceres. Oh my God, it's this brand of food called Ceres at Whole Foods, and I thought that was so beautiful. It's literally a food. I don't know what it is. I can't remember. I'm gonna go find that. Okay, I know what owl it is in. But anyways, people see that you have been, they thought that you were refusing to grow up and be responsible, but a lot of you really needed to focus on your diet and nutrition. Some of you guys were malnourished, especially if you're survivors from a trauma. But you have really focused on self-care and wellness and your agriculture and nutrition. And they may have seen this as you growing, with an inability to grow up and be responsible, but this was really just making your studies more efficient, is what I'm hearing. It made you study more efficiently. It helped your brain function better. And I'm also hearing that your self-care, wellness, and agriculture help you practice this spiritual gift, or practice this spiritual practice, or hone the spiritual gift even more. And so you cannot stop your self-care, friends. So this could be a warning if you think that you can neglect your self-care, wellness, and agriculture to study. That is not what you should be doing. Some people are realizing that is what you were doing. I'm guilty. Definitely can go a long time without eating because I'm caught studying or working. They see that they're realizing that you neglect yourself to go study. For some of you guys, for others, you need to that is a warning to not do that, because if you continue to lack self-care, wellness, and agriculture, then you will continue to get you'll continue to loop around the same karma problems. You need your meditation practice, you need wellness, you need self-care, you need agriculture, so that you can stay connected to the physical plane in a deep way. Good food from the source. Wellness means taking care of yourself, focusing on your tendencies, building good habits that ensure your success. Practicing the self-care, making sure that you have your prescription. I hear some of you guys need to make sure you have a prescription. Is what I'm hearing. because you will not have effective studying if you do not have friends, okay? So people could be realizing that about you, okay? They're seeing you learning how to balance work and wellness, okay? They're realizing that you're starting to rally up, friend. You're starting to get a greater balance of your work-life balance is what I'm hearing. And this is helping you, figure out this Peter Pan situation. Like, only, they're like, oh, Pal 3 is growing up and maturing because now they can, make their own meals for themselves. They can make their own meals for themselves, or they have wellness and self-care now, and they know how to like balance all that with this intense studying and rigorous academics is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing lots of, or this could be work as well, like big workload, okay? So this is a good pal, okay? What are people realizing about you? Let's wrap, friends. What are people realizing about you? They feel like you are finally growing up. Okay, because that's the responsible thing to do, especially with all this international recognition. They see that you being responsible about it. They say you're not going to continue to make the same choices that you used to make, right? A lot of you, they really want you to focus on some destructive emotions like your anger and anxiety, so that you can stop having these emotional outbursts, because that's not getting you the outcome that you want, okay? So that's what I'm saying, friends. I see that your self-care and wellness is helping you let go of destructive emotions. They feel like your self-care and wellness, or prayer and meditation, is your way of seeking God's will before making decisions to outburst, okay, is what I'm hearing. Also, because you guys are internationally known, okay, they're seeing that you have a lot of beautiful relationships, and even if you do have like destructive emotions like anger and anxiety, you are extended a lot of compassion, okay, is what I'm hearing as well. So that's what I'm seeing. A lot of realizations in this pile, especially if you were resonating with the first half. You're really highlighting people who did not work hard, okay? They did not work hard, and so they continue to get the same poor outcomes. And you guys, you're just learning, you're learning some of your own unconscious behavioral patterns that have been destructive, and finally releasing them, right? They feel like your self-care, wellness, and agriculture is helping you release these negative and destructive emotions, right? And a lot of you guys have a big responsibility, and an international responsibility. So you cannot be going in with no anger and anxiety. Take it from me and learn from my mistakes and pain. You all have an international responsibility, and these people do not understand, certain nuances, I guess is the word, or like they don't understand your culture all the way, or they may have English as a second language, so they could be ESL students. So they could just be seeing something like they don't. You don't want to turn a sour note to your international friends, right? But I also think helping them understand that this is you after you being in this peaceful international acclaim is after wellness, right? It's now that you have a deep connection to the physical plane, not to be not to be abusive, and they know not to take your outbursts personally, because they know that you've been dealing with some type of traumatic experience that has been causing anger and anxiety, okay? They know that it's taken a lot of work. They know that you've had a lot of doubt. They know that you have had a hard time making your own decisions as well, okay? Some of y'all. So let's wrap. What are people realizing about you? If you continue to make the same choices, you'll continue to get the same outcome. 8 of Pentacles. Still mastering, still working on yourself, still finding a shared value in friendship, okay? And then we have the Seven of Swords. Okay, what are people realizing about you? I feel like this realization that people are having about you, they are bitter. Okay, these people are bitter. So I think that if they do get a lashing from you, if they do get your anger and anxiety, you probably don't care. I think that you ultimately end up, finding a shared value, or at least letting bygones be bygones, and not holding on to any hard feelings. But I feel like this, um, you are dealing with somebody. This person could have been, you guys have learned something that they were strategizing, something that they still had not mastered, right? They were hiding a lot of aspects of themselves. They were mirroring in this exchange. This person who you're dealing with, if you guys are worried about your reputation, then we're going to get into that in the next pick card probably. But so like, I don't think that you have an issue with your reputation just because people see you as this ethereal person anyway. They give you a lot of allowances because where you came from, a lot of people doubted you, okay? Or it was a lot of anger and anxiety around it. So people are very compassionate about this. So if you guys are worried about your reputation and some fighting or negative perceptions, you and these people are infinitely connected. So they will never, they cannot hold on to a resentment. They will never not be disconnected from you, okay? But that's for those who are concerned about public reputation. You are one, okay? But especially on the international front, you guys are one, and they know that it just could be a different cultural thing. They be like, oh, maybe it just seemed more harsh and more vulgar because it's in a different culture. LOL. But for others, these people, they're realizing, this person that is realizing something about you is mirroring, okay? They're not actually a hardworking person. And I think that you coming around and showing this person how you've worked very hard for this international recognition, how you've worked really hard in this study, how you've worked hard to find a work-life balance after being a student, perhaps as well. It triggers like, this is a hidden aspect of them that they don't want you to see, that they're not really this person that seeks God's will before making decisions. They're not really this person that has light and wisdom of truth. Light of truth and wisdom. They're not really hardworking people. They're really just people who rely on luck. And they feel like finding a shared value with you was just their way of mastering themselves. It was just their way of reflecting consciousness. You were a conscious reflection to this person, but they didn't want you to know that they were this loser, okay? I'm hearing Aquarius, Capricorn energy. People who have, I'm hearing they have been lucky to have rewards, but they don't have a study, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that they don't have this prestigious study. And so these people have been strategizing to in this marketplace, is what I'm hearing, where they don't have the study, is what I'm hearing. This person does not have, they were not intuitively guided to study certain topics and things, whatever it could be. They never were, what this is ultimately, whether you connect more with the first half of the reading or this half, is that like these people, I think what they all have in common about this realization is that you actually induce anger and anxiety. Okay, for Capricorn, Aquarius, someone's name that starts with letter M or P or R, B, or W. Okay, it's, they may have recognition, they may have fame, or they may have, they may have a shared interest with you. Okay, you guys might be doing the same thing, or something like that. But this person does not have a study of art, history, and culture the way that you do, and so they're not respected, and they're not the ones that are getting, they're not the ones getting the press. They're not the ones getting the social connections. They're not the life of the party. And they know that they're just mastering themselves still. They know that they're just someone who still hasn't achieved enough wisdom in life. They haven't studied enough in their life. They haven't, and so they were lucky to go viral, or they were lucky to have this platform or whatever, right? But they ended up looking very bizarre in the end, and they've been trying to strategize in this international space where they look bizarre for trying to copy your life or trying to fight with you, when they, like, it is clear that they didn't have the study, is what I'm hearing, right? And I think for you, you are mastering yourself as well. Some people, when they saw this conflict, they already saw you as the best. They already saw you as better. And they may have like blamed you, or like they might have, because like they saw you as better, they may have just made you the already, like, just made you the authority responsible for the conflict, right? But this person has actually been an authority that has been getting, they might be an authority that is getting dismantled, and they have been strategizing around your entry into the market that is getting you internationally recognized for your studies, okay? And they just don't have a study, okay? They just don't have, they're just a luck, and you are the study. And so this has been difficult in an unconventional relationship for you, because you reflect the merit and the hard work, and they were just like lucky, or they were just they're just not getting the highest honor, because people know that it was just a luck. They know that it was just a viral moment. It's not representing the meritocracy. It's not representing an ability that they actually have, and that they have really just been strategizing around you being there, okay, trying to mimic your study, trying to mimic your mind and speech, but they really don't. They really haven't studied anything, y'all. They really are not educated, is what I'm hearing, okay? Or they're just not their true ability. And so they have been strategizing to try to catch up, or to try to, but I'm getting like some of you guys, this is your life's work. So I don't really see them catching up with 20, 30 years of life's work. You know what I'm saying? And you guys are already internationally recognized. I definitely see you guys as loving these people. This has been a journey. I'm not going to say loving these people, but it has been a journey of self-love, for one. Because, you are trying to help these people understand, like, hey, we love you for being this viral, lucky person, right? We're so happy that you were able to, get something and make something out of nothing in your life, right? Because a lot of these people, like I said, they don't have nothing. They don't have no deep spiritual connection to the earth. They're not spiritual and ethereal. They're not hardworking. They're not studied, right? they're Peter Pan's children that refuse to grow up and be responsible, okay? So a lot of you have been like, okay, but we're happy that you're here still. Like, we're thank you for your participation. Here's a gold star, right? You're just here, right? But for and then they just see you, and you're the one that has the authority. You're the one that is the wise counsel. You're the one that's getting the investments, is what I'm hearing as well. And you're the one that's getting honored for the hard work, is what I'm hearing. Some of them, they want to strategize and like just benefit from your hard work and try to mimic your movement in the marketplace, okay? You just want to benefit from your hard work. Yeah. And they're just, I feel like a lot of them are out of control with their anger and frustration, and the realizations that they're having is that you're the international study, and they're just the luck of the Irish, friend. They're just they're just people who, some of these people aren't growing anymore. They're not experiencing that luck that they used to have. And so we can see so clearly now that they're not, they don't have true abilities, because, and they were not opportune either, because they did not make anything of their lucky opportunity that they were given, okay? So, give me a little bit more about, the outcome, and tell me a little bit more about the strategies with these people, okay? I definitely think that they have been trying to hide the fact that they're not able, okay? They've been hiding that a lot, okay? And using you, and maybe just mimicking you and learning from you and trying to catch up in life, but they just can't catch up in life. They feel like some of you guys in early education or early study is the reason why you're so successful. But I feel like the unconventional relationship that you guys have is that, like, you were really able to, still accept them and love them unconditionally, even if they were not this, studied person, even if they were not, you were just like, look, don't be, you still were able to make something, you know what I'm saying? Like, give yourself some credit. Some of these people, they were so intimidated, and they said you're the institution that you attended, or the education and that you have, it shows that you've made a lot of different choices in your life, okay? So that's what I'm saying about the realization for you, Power 3. Yeah, this is not, this is illusionary success. This is not actual success. Some of these people, they have been strategizing to mimic your prestigious education, study, wisdom, and light, right? And people will come around and be like, oh my God, that's success, that's love and light, that's shared values, right? But this is really like, this person is not actually wisdom and light. This person is just strategizing so that they can see if they can get another lucky viral moment. They'll see if they can get another lucky strike. Like, okay, let me see if I can mimic the real study, and the study of your, like, they study, I'm hearing that these people study your light work, okay? Your light work is I'm hearing your whole life's work. And so you may have, like, this is an unconventional relationship where they're here on a luck or here on affirmative action, and you're here on hard work and merit, right? And that it's just been like, it's just like, dang, people are having to discern, especially the elite and the meritocracy are having to discern that these people, that's illusionary success. That person was, their consumer data is luck. That is not their study. That is not their light. That is just, they're hiding, right? They're hiding who they really are, okay? So, yeah. These people, I definitely feel like, because they feel like really childish to you, And so you're not really, if this is a romantic partner, some of you guys are rejecting this person because they're childish. You have unconditional love for them, but you're not really, I'm hearing that the things are kind of fizzling out. With how much strategizing they have been trying to do around your study. Like, some of these people can't even have a conversation with you, talk to you, especially lovers, old lovers that when they became aware of your prestigious studies and international recognition, they couldn't even talk to you anymore. They became so intimidated, or they, it was like the way that you did something shot in their face, okay? But if these are copycats or people who started competing, people who are fighting, then they're delusional, right? And people who are fellowshipping with them are also delusional. These people are not, like, you're on a journey to release the resistance of the illusion of their success. This is not a shared value and not a safe relationship. That person is wearing a mask, okay? That's what I'm saying about the realization, friends. Let me know how this resonates, and I'll see y'all next time.